External features of cerebellum. So here you can see this is the cerebellum. This is the upper surface of the cerebellum and this is the lower surface. Upper surface is related to the tentorium cerebelli here, and lower surface it lies in the posterior cranial fossa. So here we have two notches, anterior cerebellar notch and posterior cerebellar notch. So anterior cerebellar notch lodges pons as well as medulla oblongata, and posterior cerebellar notch lodges falx cerebelli, which is not seen here. So it is the fold of dura mater between the two cerebellar hemispheres. And we have three fissures. So this is fissura prima. So this fissura prima is seen on the upper surface, and it is seen between the anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 of superior vermis. So this is the superior vermis, which is seen as a continuation of the two cerebellar hemispheres. And this one in the vallecula cerebelli, inferiorly you will see the inferior vermis. So this superior vermis is divided into anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 by a fissure which is extending laterally on the superior surface. This is fissura prima. So the part of the cerebellum which is present anterior to the fissura prima is called anterior lobe. So all this is anterior lobe of the cerebellum. Horizontal fissure. So between the superior surface and the inferior surface you can see a fissure extending on the lateral and posterior aspects of the cerebellar hemispheres. So this is called horizontal fissure. So lobe which is present behind the fissura prima, including superior surface and the inferior surface, this is called posterior lobe. So all this is called posterior lobe of cerebellum. The next is posterolateral sulcus. So you can see one floccule here, floccule with the nodule of the inferior vermis which is seen very inside. So this fissure which is present between the flocculonodular lobe and the rest of the cerebellum, this fissure is called posterolateral fissure. Posterolateral fissure. So posterolateral fissure separates the posterior lobe from the third lobe, that is flocculonodular lobe. So this is the flocculonodular lobe, floccule nodule.